What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing? Happy Sanchez Day. I mean, that all depends on your perspective, but happy Sanchez Day, Siraj. Thank you for joining the chat. And thank you, Tiger Rage, Thomas McCarthy, Daraj, JP43, Jan Ivor Jacobson, Sammy Noor. And that is all that we've got at the moment, but thank you guys so much for joining the stream. As always, we're going to start off with, if you do want to support the stream in any way, various links in the description down below, including being a Patreon, including being a sponsor of the stream like Blessing Rolo, and also, of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel. That's the greatest way to support me, grow the channel, make it bigger, make it something great, because that's what the flock do. Also, I am drinking beer as usual. We've finished all the Christmas drinks, all the fancy drinks have gone, so yeah, just basic beer now. So, I've said hello to the majority of people that are in. Desiree Charija is here as well. Let's have a look at some of the questions. Let's start this off with a bang. 10 people watching. We have the first question from JP43. What to do with Son? Now, I've already got rid of him because I saw the tough fixtures coming up. But to be honest, last week it really hurt me. This week I got away with it, which is fortunate for me because, as you can see, just a quick update, points-wise, I'm just around the average, I believe. 47 points, the average is 43. I've got Salah and Firmino playing today. But of course I don't have Son in my starting 11. My opponent in the cup, if we actually look at his team, he's got 48 points, but he's got a -4, which puts him on 44, which means at the moment I believe I'm beating him, which is can't change because the two players we've both got left are the same. He hasn't captained one of them, so it doesn't matter what happens today. I should, unless I'm really missing something, go through in the cup. So I'm glad that Son hasn't done well this week. But Tottenham's fixtures, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal. But then it is Crystal Palace and Huddersfield after that. Is it a long run of decent fixtures? If we have a look. Then after that, it is 4 decent fixtures with only blips in there. So, I would transfer him out because I don't think he's risen in price loads. Let's have a look what he's actually at. Yeah, he's 8.2 and he started the game off at 8. So, you could get rid of him. You get 8.1 million back if you got him when he was 8 million. And move to a team that have better fixtures. And then, of course, bring him back in after the tough 3 fixtures. Who would you be looking to bring in? If I had to bring in a midfielder for not Lingard, Son, it wouldn't be Lingard. Lingard's kind of fallen off recently. If you don't have Sterling, he's more expensive now, unfortunately. Arnautovic has looked good. And he's also playing out of position with good fixtures. Mahrez is still looking good as well. I don't know what Leicester's fixtures are like, though. Leicester actually have a decent run. Only Man City in Gameweek27, but either side of that, decent fixtures. So Mahrez could be an option. Other than that, I mean, I liked the look of Shaqiri in the Stoke game. And Grosh and, is it Scalotto? They looked alright, but I reckon the most obvious choices are Arnautovic and Mahrez right now to bring in for Son. So hopefully that answers your question. Probably way behind the chat by now. Sammy Noor, do you think it's time for Christensen to be sold? Any decent replacement? Should I bring in Aguero or do I stick with Son or sell him? I would sell Son for the next 3 fixtures. He could do well in the next 3 fixtures, but I would sell him for them. I'm getting told that my video output is very, very low. Let's have a look. No one's complaining about stream. Let me know what quality the stream's in at the moment, because it's telling me on YouTube that it's pretty poor. Anyway, Christensen. I mean, Chelsea look like they can keep getting clean sheets. They do still have 3 decent fixtures: Bournemouth, Watford, West Brom. If Christensen is out, then I'd be looking to move to another big team with decent fixtures. You've got Liverpool. They've only got Spurs in game week 26. Otherwise, it's decent. The other teams kind of have up and down fixtures. Arsenal have a next decent 2, but then it's Tottenham and Man City. Man City have a good 3 fixtures, but then it's Arsenal and Chelsea. But then Man City seem to be able to score against anyone. I mean, if you can change to another Chelsea defender, they're looking good. Otherwise, it's probably Liverpool you'd be looking at. So if we do look at Liverpool, fixture-wise, and Christensen, how much is he actually at right now? Christensen is at 5.6. So I'm assuming you may have got him before he rose in price, so I don't know what your selling value is actually. But Liverpool have Gomez, he only played 35 minutes the last game, but he did have 3 minutes and 90. That would save you some cash. Matip is probably within your reach. Again, though, game time seems to change. Oh, is that this game week? Yeah, so it's saying 35 minutes because there's only been 35 minutes played. So Gomez has actually started as well. So Gomez is a cheap option into that team. Matip is, of course, the more proven option. Van Dijk could probably still get him in. He could be decent. Does have an attacking threat. Robertson, is he still playing? It says 6 minutes played. Has he come on? No idea what's happened with Robertson because I'm not watching the game, of course. I'm here with you guys. But you got Gomez, you got Matip, and you got Van Dijk. If you're looking to upgrade to a decent team with a decent chance of getting clean sheets. Just like Thomas McCarthy says, please like and share and retweet and share on Facebook. I've shared on Facebook for the first time in ages, so share on that as well if you've got Facebook. Share it on Instagram, share it on whatever. Jan Arvid Jacobson, 76 points, Salah left. I let Kane down this week, mate. Hey, 76 points is a good return, Jan Arvid Jacobson. Well done. Made chocolate ice cream and cold coffee. I mean, whatever floats your boat, Siraj. I need Salah to score. I have 33 as my captain. Okay, so Tiger Rage, if he does score, that will help you out. But he's a really high-owned player. My ranking very rarely changes when Salah scores. Siraj, I am definitely considering swapping Aguero for Kane for the 3 game weeks. Purely because the fixtures are well within Aguero's favour compared to Spurs's. And if we compare the two, Aguero is the only person anywhere near Kane as far as shots on goal and all that kind of stuff. So Aguero actually beats Kane. That's for the last game week, though. I want to actually look at all 6 game weeks. Sorry, I've been prepping a YouTube show, and I usually just have the round score. But, of course, for the show, I do the last 6 game weeks. Aguero still wins out, though. We've got FPL price, of course, much cheaper. You've got... Where's goals? There we go. 6 goals to 9. Total assists. Aguero gets more assists, though. So if you look at goals involved in, it's 8 to 9, I suppose. Which, with the difference in price, is justifiable for the swap. Goal involvement, 60% to 57%. We've then got minutes per attempt, 14.3 minutes per attempt for Kane to 20.2 for Aguero. Shot accuracy is better for Kane, as is goal conversion, 51.5 to 44 and 27.3 to 24. However, creating chances for teammates, 56 minutes per chance created for Aguero, 67 for Kane, and he's created 9 chances to 7 and 2 assists to 0, of course. So Aguero is a decent shout. I may consider it, but then I've got to make sure I keep the funds available. So I've got to do some quick maths. and figure out if that is feasible to just change for 3 game weeks. And let me just change my tables, otherwise I'm going to be confused every time I look. And back to the chat. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking about it. I want Salah to score just 1. Salah scoring anything would be good. Although it's Swansea who scored. Mawson with the goal, Fernandes with the assist. Who here has Mawson and Fernandes? What about Ali? I'd say the same. Ali, although he's slightly more expensive, but you're looking at the likes of Mahrez. You're looking at Arnautovic. Maybe Martial. I haven't really looked at the stats of Martial, but he has been impressing recently. J Rock called the Aguero hat-trick. And it's against Newcastle, wasn't it, Jay? So, you know, likely to happen. Was tempted to triple captain Aguero, but I wimped out by the false 9. Shame about that. It would have been a good week to triple captain anyone. Sorry, to triple captain Aguero. Desiree Torija predicting the future says Kane will not score against Man United. Chamberlain looks a good option if in case you want some free funds for Sanchez in your team. Shashank, I agree. Like I said, I want to see more of him. It's unlikely I'm actually going to see what he's like in this game. So if anyone does watch this game, let me know how Chamberlain does. I am considering him, but I'm not going to get out Salah. So would I really want to double up on Liverpool's midfield? False 9 says Mahrez is a solid Son replacement. Shashank, also VVD is looking good. Well, they've conceded at the moment. Mickey at 7.6 can be a bargain, Shashank. I'm sure a bunch of the people in the stream have heard me say this multiple times. I do not like bringing in someone that has changed club purely because I don't know how they're going to perform at their new club. Now, there are certain situations where I'll take the risk. Sanchez would possibly be one where I take the risk, purely because Sanchez has proven his FPL merit over various seasons. Mkhitaryan hasn't really proven himself apart from very small periods for Manchester United. That's not to say he's not a great player. That's not to say he won't do amazingly at Arsenal. What it is saying is I don't want to make that move and then be disappointed when it turns out he doesn't do that well, or it turns out Iwobi manages to keep his place in the side, or something like that. So I'm keeping an eye on Mickey, because even if I get him at 7.8, I'll be very happy if he does start to perform. And it would be interesting to see 2 more creative players. Not that Sanchez isn't creative. Let me get my words right. Mkhitaryan and Özil are very good at assists when they're both on form. Whereas Sanchez, while he can assist, don't get me wrong, he's a bit more selfish going forward. So 2 players like that behind Lacazette, or potentially Aubameyang, apparently. Just imagine. I kind of am hoping Aubameyang doesn't go to Arsenal, because I would like to see what Lacazette can do with 2 assist machines behind him. Time to sell Calvert-Lewin. Do I wait for a potential Niasse transfer? You know what? Niasse scored for Everton. Did he start? I know he scored because I saw the goal. But did he start? No, 21 minutes played. I mean, everyone's looking at Niasse if he moves. I don't know. Calvert-Lewin's definitely, his time is over, I think. But I'm finding it very hard to predict a good, cheap striker. Time to replace Sterling with Willian. I'm sorry, but Sterling has done far too much for me to think of taking him out just yet. If you look here, that period he blanked 2 game weeks in a row. That's it. That's the only period where 2 weeks in a row he didn't do something of worth. I know he blanked here, but it wasn't a 2 week period. It wasn't a 2 week period. Just look at that. 5, 9, 11, 13. I can't take Sterling out. He gets in the right position. He could have scored 2. Yeah, he could have scored 2 in the game against whoever Man City were playing. I've forgotten already, which is great. I literally watched the game this morning. Man City, Newcastle. How can I forget? It was Aguero's hat-trick. He got an assist and he could have scored twice, so I'm not getting rid of Sterling. Does Willian look good? Yes, but that Chelsea side generally has been a bit iffy on form. They did really well, don't get me wrong, against Brighton, but are they going to continue that form? I want to wait and see. Captain Sterling by Siraj. Lucky to have Vardy and Jones. Thomas McCarthy, stream is okay. Yeah, for some reason on my screen it was really blurry and I was getting the red bar. Basically, I've got a bar at the top of my screen and it was telling me the stream quality going through to you guys was pretty poor. But good to know it wasn't. Is it good to put in Alexis Sanchez? Alexis Sanchez would be one of the few players I would take a risk on bringing in early, purely because of his pedigree. Will I do it? Probably not, because he's very, very expensive. However, with money saved down to Aguero and the fact that I've got some money in the bank, might I take the risk with Alexis Sanchez? With Man United's fixtures being okay after the Spurs game, Huddersfield, Newcastle, then it is Chelsea, but then it's Crystal Palace. I may consider it, but that would be me taking a punt. I don't know what his ownership is, but I'm presuming a lot of people are considering the same move. Now, I have no idea. Is he? I'm presuming he's not moved on the game yet, which I'm correct about. So 2.7 ownership, 11.7. I mean, if you're going for a punt with pedigree, then you don't get much better than Alexis Sanchez. Desiree Tarija, I'm not saying Mickey won't be a good gamble. I'm just saying he's not the type of player I would gamble on just yet. Like, for instance, with Mohamed Salah, I gambled on him because he'd played in the Premier League before and he was coming over with some crazy stats. Ibrahimovic had years of scoring goals. So there are some players I will gamble on because they just are that good. The stats have always been that good. Or they've had some sort of Premier League experience or proven himself in FPL before. Mickey has never set the FPL Fantasy Premier League world alight. Probably hasn't set the Old Trafford Theatre of Dreams world alight. So not someone I'd look at. Son to Sane or Silva is probably the way I go in order to cover Aguero points. That's not a bad shout. Thing with those two is Silva was very, very nailed on until his family issues came up. And then Sane, the fact that he went off the boil for so long kind of worries me. But Sane is a great player, don't get me wrong at all. Florence Sandu on 65 points at the moment. No Liverpool players for Florence Sandu. Sold Hazard. A lot of people seem to have sold Hazard the week he decides to perform. What I would say about Hazard is he has a tendency to be explosive but not consistent. Apparently Gordon Gilbody's already started drinking. I don't even set myself like resolutions anymore. I set myself goals, don't get me wrong, but resolutions, there's a bit of a something to resolutions. You seem to always break them. By the way, guys, if you do not see me during the FA Cup weekend, I'm pretty sure it's the FA Cup weekend, Let me make sure I'm actually correct about that. Yeah, 30th of January. There's 10 days to the next game. Oh, so wait a minute. 20. Oh, so Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's a midweek period. Ah, I thought I had a bit more time than that. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, I'm moving flat this week. Saturday will be the official moving day, but we're getting stuff ready, of course. And we have the keys to our new place early. So if you don't see lots of videos, that is the reason why. But we're getting this up for the game week. Hopefully, internet will be sorted in time for the period between the next 2 game weeks. You watch it be really short period. Tuesday, Wednesday, then Saturday, yeah. Great. So, maybe I'll be able to record a video and then go to someone's house to upload it. But otherwise, there may not be a video for Game Week 26. But hopefully there will be. Is it okay to consider selling Kane for the next few weeks? If you were going to do it, this is the period to do it. Because this is the only period I would say... 2 games, I'd say hold on to him. But that's 3 really difficult games. But then it's a good period back in. So I'd be... Especially that last 4 is nice. So I'd definitely be making sure you can bring him back in. I have some thinking to do about Depoitre, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Son, Lingard, Shane Long, Elliott. The rest seems okay. My star-sided defence, Otamendi, Jones, Alonso has left a dent on my bank. 8 days break will be good. That's some problems. Depoitre, what are Huddersfield's fixtures like? Oh, they're nasty. Liverpool, Man United next. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I'm not a fan of. Never have been, but lots of other people have. Son, there's every chance Son's pace and the way he's playing at the moment could cause the teams he's coming up against problems. Everyone's getting rid of Spurs players because their fixtures are hard, but Tottenham could get results from these games. You don't know that they won't. Just people are hedging their bets by going elsewhere. Keeping Son could be a masterstroke. If you've got really urgent problems elsewhere, I'd maybe keep Son. Lingard, I'm really worried I got in too late, and now with Sanchez going, Sanchez is the one that I would assume is going to be dropped for Sanchez. If I was Mourinho, Lukaku's been brought in for so much, he is your striker. Actually, no, if I was Mourinho, I don't like Lukaku, so I'd play Sanchez up front. So Lingard would probably be alright, but I'm assuming Lukaku's going to keep his place. I'm assuming that Pogba is fine. Is he playing Cam now? Or is he playing further back? Then you've got the 2 wide positions. Now you've got Rashford, Martial, Lingard. I wouldn't be dropping Martial right now. So it would be Lingard and Rashford that would be dropped for Sanchez. Unless Sanchez is going to play behind the striker with some freedom and Pogba's going to drop back. But I have to wait and see. Lingard may be an issue. Shane Long may be an issue. Elliott has been an issue for a while. I don't know how I still got him in my side. Florence Sand, whose captain was Aguero. Well done. No clean sheet for Liverpool. I don't think I ever talked bad about Aguero, J-Rock. I did say I preferred Kane. And I still think Kane will be the top scorer in the entire season. And I did say I was looking, and all my transfers have been about saving money recently, to bring in Aguero now that Jesus is out. Because a striker at Man City is good. Like, if you've got a nailed-on striker at that Man City side, that is good for you. It would be really easy to just swap Kane for Aguero. But I'm still not 100% sold on doing it. But I never badmouthed Aguero. But against Newcastle, I always thought he could do the damage. CJ Rock, you weren't that confident in yourself, were you? You didn't captain him. My gut feeling was I needed to bring in Lingard, though, and that didn't work out for me. Oh, I saw some statues in the chat. We got some haters in. Siraj's gut feeling was the Captain Hazard, but then he sold him. Rad Robbie, how you doing, my friend? Kolasinic, I like the rest of my team. Any suggestions for a replacement? 5.9 or less. I mean, to be honest, I've always looked at Monreal as like a player that could be as good as Kolasinic for less money. And I mean, so far he's doing it. Like, I don't understand why he's getting forward as much, and he seems to be in the right place at the right time. I would say you've got Mustafi there and Monreal who are cheaper. So I would be putting them in over Kolasinic because he's not performing enough. The fact that he's dropped in price, if he kept dropping, then maybe I'd consider him in the future. But as far as anyone else in that kind of price range, I'm assuming there's quite a few options that are better. I'd say Phil Jones is a bonus point magnet. Still cheaper. If a Spurs fullback kept his place, I'd say look there. Maguire has quietly been ticking away points and not really getting massive headlines from doing so. In the future, is there anyone below him that I think might overtake him? Not really. For instance, if Trippier didn't have to contend with Aurier, then I'd say Trippier would be a decent shout. But I'd say Jones and Monreal are the players above him that I'd say probably are better options. Another Hoops, how you doing? Yeah, I wish I had Mawson. I had Mawson never, I think. Florence Sanders getting Willian and Sanchez for Ali and Son. That could work out for you. Put Mila. I can't say that name, Jan Iver Jacobson. Why did you put his name in the chat? Milovijevic. I think that's about as close as I'm going to get. To be honest, he's the type of player you would put on your bench, though. So I'm like, especially with the way that game went, I think he was kind of lucky to get that goal. TP is back in the chat. How are you, TP? Are there any statues? No statues today so far. Have Liverpool really not scored yet? My team is doing badly. I'm hoping you're talking about... I say hoping purely because I hope that your team in real life is doing well. Are you talking about your FPL side or your actual supporting side? Ask questions, JNO's catching up. To be honest, it's probably only going to be an hour stream today because I've got stuff to do still. But, you know, if you keep asking questions, you know what I'm like. Apparently, Daraj says Mane slipped. Potential Salah assist. Great. You know what? Mane worries me, though, because he could be a massive differential for some people around me. Average points this game week, I believe, was 45. 43 so far, and I'm on 47. Sound is a bit low. Is that any better? Move the microphone a bit closer. Just don't like the mic on the screen. There we go. It's just out. There we go. 47-ish, as I guess, is the average last night. Who to change? De Gea, Pope, Christensen, me, Mbemba, Otamendi, Daniel, Sterling, Lingard, Salah, Moy, Gross, Firmino, Kane, De Poitre. I'd say Huddersfield's fixtures have taken a turn for the worst, so maybe Moy. Lingard, I'm worried the trapdoor is opened out underneath him and he's not going to keep performing. Bournemouth, do they have good fixtures? You know, after the Chelsea game, which they got good fixtures, Stoke, Huddersfield, Newcastle, Leicester, I'd maybe keep Daniels for now. And Mbemba is, of course, a problem. Christensen, like everyone's asking me about him, so I'm presuming he's not really on my radar because I've not. If I was going to get a Chelsea defender, it wouldn't be him. I'd be aiming a bit higher for Azpilicueta or Alonso, but I'm presuming. Oh, because he got 57 minutes, 2 games in a row. That might be why people are thinking of taking him out. That is annoying, isn't it? So Christensen is a doubt. Liverpool's defence or someone else in the Chelsea side, I'd suggest. Southampton will definitely go down. You managed to get a point from Spurs. Jan Alva Jacobson, I have Albrighton and Decore. I want to sell both and getting better. Okay, apparently I cut out there. So again, I'm going to ask, is the stream okay? Because I got a notification saying OBS lost connection with YouTube. So let me know what happened there. But also both and get better. Well, upgrade from Albrighton to Mahrez would make sense. As far as teams go, the teams with good fixtures, Leicester have Mahrez, who has good fixtures. You've got Stoke, maybe Shaqiri, or one of the Stoke midfielders. Is Choupo-Moting still a midfielder? I'm pretty sure he was. Last time I was looking at him. He could be an option. Joe Allen could be an option. You've got West Ham on Arnautovic. I think Lanzini's picked up a knock. You've got Liverpool, who have good fixtures. They've got Oxlade-Chamberlain. They've got the expensive options, of course, like Salah, Mane. You've got Bournemouth. Once they get past Chelsea, you could maybe look at some of their midfielders, but their midfielders seem to like share the points this season. Other than that, I wouldn't really go to any other team apart from Man City just because of the form they're in, and they've got 3 decent fixtures, but there's not really a cheap option there. But if you can get any Man City midfielder in, it's probably a good thing for your side. As far as cheaper options, Arnautovic is the one I'd say I've got some faith in. Richarlison and Lingard have been disappointing for me. I mean, I've only just got Lingard in though. Martial could be good if he keeps his place, but with Sanchez moving in, I'd wait and see what happens there. Replacement for Vardy, he just scored, Siraj. Got 1.2 million in the bank. So, Vardy is how much? Vardy is 8.5, and you've got 1.2 in the bank, so that would put you up to 9.7. So if we go to forwards and we go to 9.5, I mean, I'm assuming you've got Firmino already. If you haven't, he seems a very good option at a Liverpool side right now. That I haven't seen this Liverpool game, but I'd assume Liverpool are still going to be capable of scoring goals. Other than that, there isn't really an upgrade that you'd be using more money on, and there isn't anyone below him that I think is going to get more points than Vardy. So unless you got more money, I would keep Vardy. Like, not even, I mean, maybe Wilson has a good run because Bournemouth have a good run after their next fixture, but there's no one there that I'd really upgrade to apart from Firmino, if you can. Siraj, I think Lanzini's picked up a knock, as far as I'm aware. Thigh injury, hamstring strain, currently being assessed. So I wouldn't bring in Lanzini right now. If you can wait, potentially he could be a good move. TP Football Analysis apparently got a like from Vertonghen. Send Vertonghen to the channel. Send Vertonghen to the channel, mate. Alright. By the way, if you haven't already, please like and share this video. And subscribe if you're new to the chat. Only 20 people watching. It's the good 20 people, though. It's the good 20 people, but... Siraj, cheap, only good option. Shaqiri has looked good. I'd also say Choupo-Moting and Mohamed Diouf, potentially, from what I saw in that game. Desiree Tarija, I plan to use my wildcard this game week. Any player suggestions? If you put your team in the chat, then I'll tell you which players I think you should keep. And then I can kind of look at what areas you need to change. It's a bit broad asking me any player suggestions. Everyone take Mata out. He will be replaced with Sanchez. Oh, Siraj, I'll be happy if Lingard stays in. You want to use your free hit this week? Okay, so if you're using your free hit, that's a 1 week option. So I don't mind just doing that off the top of my head. Stoke at home against Watford, I feel like they could get something from that. So Mohamed Diouf, Choupo-Moting, Shaqiri are your cheap options. Sorry, excuse me. Cheap options that you could potentially use to get yourself some money elsewhere. You've got Southampton against Brighton over Albion. I don't know how that game's going to go, so I'd probably avoid it. West Ham at home against Palace. I think Arnautovic should get something from that game. You've got Liverpool versus Huddersfield. I'd still have players like Salah in your side and Firmino. You could maybe go for differentials because you're using a free hit and go for someone like Mane, go for an Oxlade-Chamberlain, hope that they get goals and have a crazy game week where you just like soar up the rankings. Burnley, even though they are away, it is against Newcastle, could potentially keep a clean sheet. So I'd look at a Burnley defensive option. You've got Everton at home against Leicester. Whilst they didn't do great recently, I know they drew, didn't they? But I still would say they didn't. By the way, thoughts out to McCarthy. Is it James McCarthy? That's a horrible injury. Complete freak accident. Hopefully he gets well. Hopefully it's not as serious as it looks, but it does look very serious. But hopefully he's able to come back and carry on playing football. So my thoughts go out to him. Hopefully I said his first name right. But Everton versus Leicester, I'd say any Leicester or Everton option could potentially score points. Leicester generally score goals, but they generally also concede. So you've got the likes of Mahrez would be the favourable option from Leicester. You've got Vardy, but you also have in Everton's side, Theo Walcott's going to want to prove himself so he can get into the World Cup squad. You've got, I'd say Walcott's really the only option that I'd really take a gamble on. Chelsea at home against Bournemouth. Bournemouth's defence hasn't been the greatest. Hazard would be a decent shout. Willian would be a decent shout. Alonso, if you can fit him in. But any Chelsea defender that you're pretty sure is going to play. Arsenal against Swansea away. Again, you could look at Lacazette, Özil. With Sanchez gone, I wouldn't jump at Mkhitaryan straight away. I mean, if you really wanted to gamble, maybe you could. But I think Özil's guaranteed to be starting, and he looked quality in the last game. Then you've got Newcastle. You could get some cheap options. Burnley don't generally score lots of goals, so a Newcastle defensive option. Then you've got Man City against West Brom at home, so that is a good fixture. If you can get Aguero in, Sterling, De Bruyne, Sane, there's so many options there. And you could take some defensive options as well. Those are the kind of players I'll be looking at if I was playing a free hit, specifically for Game Week 25. Shashank has been stuck at 70 to 75k since Game Week 13. We'll go for Sanchez to break the template team and hence break into top 10k. See, I need to see where Sanchez is playing, and because Man United are playing Tottenham, I feel like that's the one game where I can just wait and see. If Man United are playing a really poor defence, I might be like, let's gamble Sanchez. Siraj says Arnautovic, Salah, Maris, Sanchez, Kane, Aguero. That's a decent looking side, isn't it? Have Liverpool really not scored yet? Sorry, shout out to Nim3. She wants me to retweet something, but busy with the flock right now. Bros, never mind. I didn't say nothing. FPL Red Eagle is in the chat. Thank you for joining, FPL Red Eagle. Oh, my voice cracked. Awkward. Anyway, Sterling will fade, I guess. I don't think he'll fade, personally. But we'll see. I think Sterling's going to keep his form up. He's going to want to anyway, because he wants to go to that World Cup. Probably a good idea to wait on Aguero until after the Cup games. Plus, when he rises in price, it'll probably save you an extra 0.1, 0.2 to get Kane back. True, I never rush into my transfers and other hoops. I always leave it to the day before or the actual day, because I just don't risk making it earlier. FPL Red Eagle, 4th in the mini league right now. Well done, FPL Red Eagle. Ah, am I on the big screen? I don't know what to do. Don't tell me I'm on a big screen. I imagine myself on your phone, on your iPad, on your computer. I'm on your TV. You need to tweet me a picture of that. I've watched other people on big screen, but I've never watched myself because I watch my actual videos back, but I don't watch streams back because I feel like that would be awkward. Although I probably should see what I think I do well and what I don't. Siraj, except Firmino, maybe in midfield. Siraj, no worries. I want you to be focused on the exams. I want a doctor in my chat. I need to replace Kenny. Please help. I have 4.8 million budget. Desiree Charija. Why do you need to replace Kenny? I know Coleman's close to coming back, but I would wait until he's actually back. But if you wanted to replace him with 4.8, let's see who I would suggest. You watch me go through this whole list. And not Gomez, if he keeps getting first team football, is a decent shout. Daniels has decent fixtures. 4 of them, then Spurs, then 3. You got Steve Cook as well. Isn't amazing options anymore. Most of the amazing options have risen above that price now, haven't they? So those are the ones I'd probably go for. Gomez, if he keeps playing those at a Liverpool side that have decent fixtures coming up, if he keeps playing, that might be worth a gamble. How's this new guy in Stoke's defence? I really don't know. I really don't know. He's not done anything that's made me notice him. But if Stoke are getting clean sheets, that doesn't matter. See you later, Thomas. Thank you for joining. Jan Arthur Jacobson will try to get Arnautovic in, but must wait a week. It's possible to save more than 2 free transfers. Unfortunately, it's not possible. You only get to save, at max you get 2. You get to carry 1 over. I would get rid of Son if that is Silva. Did David Silva play? Let me actually look. Because if David Silva hasn't played, I wouldn't risk keeping him if you have to get rid of one. Yeah, he played, so I would just keep Silva and get Son out because of the fixtures. But like I said, Son could turn out to be a massive differential because most people will be getting rid of him. Thanks, another hoops. Only way to watch me is apparently on the big screen. Just so the rest of you know. False 9 coming in with some knowledge. He says Gomez has actually been poor recently, needs a rest. How about KDB for Sanchez and Aguero? For Kane, I don't feel like selling KDB. Have him for Game Week 1. I don't know. KDB's been doing really well. I wouldn't take the gamble from a player like KDB, who's been doing well, in a side that's doing well, to Sanchez, who's moving club. Aguero to Kane is different because Aguero hasn't moved club. Kane hasn't moved club. You're just playing the fixtures and hoping that you get it right. I think Aguero to Kane, or sorry, Kane to Aguero just makes sense. KDB to Sanchez, I would wait and see. That's how I play it. Anyway, guys, I know this is going to make it a really short stream, but my wife does want to get here and sort some stuff out, and I've still got stuff to sort out as well. So, thank you guys so much for joining the stream. A bit of a short one. If you do want to support the stream in any way, there's various links in the description down below, so please feel free to check them out. Any support is much appreciated and helps me do more streams, do more content, and improve my equipment. If there is no other video for this game week, thank you very much for joining this stream. Thank you very much for viewing it if you're viewing it after the fact as well. Just quickly, Waz has asked Pickford or Pope. I would say right now Pickford because Tom Heaton may be coming back. So Pickford's a safer option. Have you ever not used a free transfer? I've carried over a free transfer, Gordon, but I will then always use it afterwards because I usually want to improve my side in some way or another. Siraj, of course, best of luck with your exams. I hope you smash it. I hope you absolutely destroy the exam. And then you come back and tell us all that you're Dr. Siraj and that you're flying us all out for a holiday because you earn so much money. I'm joking. But I really do wish you the best of luck in your exams, mate. And that is it. So, thank you guys so much. This has been FPL Today. I've been JNO. Pretty sure I did that the wrong way around, but never mind. And remember, it's all about the game.